Well, Pete, you've been on the job here for about 8 months or so. When you got here, you had a big, long list of things you wanted to try to accomplish. How well did you knock off that list as we get you ready for the first game?
Well, some days it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back because you knock a few things off the list, but then a few things get added to the list. But it's all good, right? This is all what we do. It's a big program. There's a lot of people involved. There's a lot of layers to it. And we want it to be a highly visible program and a very successful program. So it's a labor of love for me. It has been an absolute race for 7+ months now, but excited to have it culminate with this opening game.
How well have you accomplished you knowing this team and they knowing you over those 7 months?
I think it's been great from that standpoint. We've put a lot of time into building relationships and being very accessible, and I try to be very upfront and honest with the guys every day about what the expectations are. Always try to be positive with the stuff that we should be positive about, and then if there's things that have to be adjusted or changed or expectations are different than what we did in any given day, then I try to give them that feedback as well. But I do think we are a close-knit group, and that starts with the quality of the people, and we've got good people on the coaching staff and the support staff, and we've tried very hard with the players that we've brought in to bring in high character guys.
All right, let's talk a little football here as we get ready for the season opener with the Bulls and the Lafayette Leopards. You made the decision about a week or so ago to name C.J. Agbana the starting quarterback. What went into the decision, and what was it that C.J. did to convince you?
Well, he's gotten progressively better since spring ball. He's had a good summer, a good preseason. He's attacked some of the things that we challenged him on coming out of spring ball. I think we really put him, as well as the other guys, to the test this preseason. We really set up our preseasons and certain practice periods to test the quarterback, test their acumen, test their decision-making, test their reactions in a lot of game situations. And CJ's been very steady, and he's thrown the ball better and better. So happy with where he's at, and I think he's earned this opportunity.
I want to ask you about special teams. It's near and dear to your heart. You're one of the best guys who have ever done it in college football. How important, and you spend a lot of time on it here for those of us that have been at practice, how important is that unit to the success of this team in this season?
I think anytime you're taking over a program and you're looking to get a program back on track, there are opportunities several weeks out of the season where an explosive special teams play could make the difference in the game. But beyond that, to me, it's just teaching football 101. It's teaching the fundamentals of the game, and those things carry over to all 3 phases. So you might have a wide receiver who's on one special teams unit, and he's actually being cross-trained every day in those special teams drills to the same techniques, the same fundamentals that he's going to apply at the wide receiver position. So I think by dedicating a lot of time, effort, and energy to special teams, hopefully you become a better fundamentally sound football team overall.
So as we get you ready here for kickoff between the Bulls and the Lafayette Leopards, talking to Coach Pete Lembo, the game day experience here, you're going to get that for your first time around. What are you expecting from the fans here and the atmosphere around this stadium?
Well, I've only been here one time, even though I spent 5 years in the MAC. The only time I played Buffalo in the MAC was at Ball State, but I was here one time with Lehigh University and remember a fabulous atmosphere. A Thursday night opener, great student support, great community support, a lot of energy around the stadium. And our guys have been working very hard to build relationships on and off campus. They've represented UB football very well. We've tried to be very accessible to the community and our alumni and our football alumni and all our different constituents since we got here in late January, and really hoping that we get a great turnout Thursday night, and not just Thursday night, but in subsequent home games as well, to create a great group of five type atmosphere.
All right, one thing we've learned about you is you love history, you love pop culture, you've got all kinds of good, solid, trivial knowledge, which is just up our alley. So each week in this interview segment, we're going to tap in to your knowledge there. You know Lafayette because you coached against them for many years at Lehigh. Lafayette's been playing football since 1882. They invented two very important parts of the game at Lafayette. Do you know what those are?
One, I think, was the helmet. And I'm stumped on the other one, but
the huddle.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
How about that?
I love it. So that's very cool. Great tradition there, and obviously the Lehigh Lafayette rivalry is a very special one. You know, right up there with Harvard and Yale, and Carolina, Clemson, and all the great rivalries across the country. It's arguably the most important day on both of those campuses.
Bonus question for you. Lafayette is located in Easton, Pennsylvania, which is also the home to an iconic childhood item. You know what that is, don't you? What do they make there in Easton?
Oh, it's probably something Christmas-oriented.
No, it's the Crayola crayon.
Okay.
Right?
I lived in the Lehigh Valley for 8 years. Now, I do know that right across the river in Phillipsburg, New Jersey, I believe it's Larry Holmes.
It is, yes.
And of course, he was the guy that had that, low-fat burger. I'm sure they're still selling those. We probably, I don't think it made the move. I think we had one of those at one time that probably got left in Memphis or in Muncie, Indiana during one of these moves.
That's too bad.
But Larry Holmes.
In a good sign, the most popular Crayola crayon color is blue. That could be a very good omen.
All right.
And if your defense plays well this weekend, I want you to ask them to see if they'll make a red Murdoch color crayon. How about that?
Love it. Love it.
Pete, it's been a pleasure. We're looking forward to a fun season here. Glad we finally got it here. Looking forward to doing this every week. Good luck against Lafayette.
Thanks so much. Go Bulls.